we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I can use a regular die.
Let me do it, Ross. Let me do this. I can do it.
Put me in, coach. Well, guess what? I rolled a 2, and you're the second person on my screen. So it's Chapman. What happened last time, Chapman? Please, thank you very much.
I'm gonna be honest, not a lot of progress. So whoever wasn't here last time, which I think was Andrew, you might not have actually missed much. Greater context is. Yeah, a little bit. The greater context is that we met these cool guys called the Rangers. They were quite inviting. They just said, please don't eat our gods. And we were like, who would ever do that? And they said that the Dawn Seekers are their worst enemies. And they want us to go do something about that. We have a lot to talk about if we actually pursue that, which I think we're intending to. But also in their neighborhood, they had a facility that contained lots of ancient abandoned technology that they said, yeah, go for it, loot that stuff. So we spent most of last session just doing that, checking out each of these individual gadgets and gizmos. The general theme, I think, was that it seemed like it was at one point intended as a leisurely resort of some sort. But none of these things were relaxing to us at all.
No, it was
all of them were horrible.
It was a resort turned internment, basically.
We did find the space drone.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So, quick summary. Gus tried on a VR helmet, thought he was on fire. Then Niall got eaten by a hungry cryopod. We had to fight through a bunch of other cryopods to deactivate them and release him. Solomon put his mouth on something and acquired adamantium fangs. We brought a corpse to a weird set of stalks and inserted the limbs, which got splattered. There's a little bit more experimenting that went into that, but that's the conclusion we arrived at. We harvested parts from. We harvested the parts from the centrifuge that we were really there for. We got the stuff we needed. Then we returned back to the Ranger settlement to retrieve the rest of our stuff, and finally we set out to return to Larstown. Finally, we did find a broken android in the sand. And Solomon harvested an optical lens from it and installed it on his eyeball, which I think gave him like a real life HUD that he could view character stats through.
Yeah, I got a Pokedex for Karth and anything else that I see again.
So where we're at now is on our way back to Larstown, vaguely aware of at least a warband of the Dawn Seeker folks are either on their way there or have maybe already begun a battle. And we've been debating about how we want to involve ourselves in all of that, because at this point, entanglement is inevitable. Did I get everything?
Well, I got the data chip from the android, so I can make my own HK-47.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, all right. So, and I apologize. I think the group caller this week is either Niall or Books. Did we say it was Niall? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
Okay, we'll say it's Books. Good luck, Books. Welcome back. The problem is that in my list, I have the owners of the Lucky Yo off separate, but that way I can keep track of the ship. And so then I lose my place. But yeah, so there'd be Books, then Chapman, then we'll go back to Niall, Radamant, Gus, then Solomon again. So, okay. So here we are. And I'd switch this to green, so watch your eyes. Because the gas giant Tiburnus is very... Did I get this wrong? It is... Oh, I had it wrong. Let me fix it. I can fix this. It is blue. So this should be a blue desert, and I've had that wrong because all of the casting of the light on things, anything crystalline, the atmosphere would appear blue. So here you are in the blue desert moon of Karth, cast under the light of the gas giant Tiburnus, and you've just crossed this mountain range to the east. I'll ping it here. as you crossed the mountain range, you encountered something in the sands, and Solomon decided to investigate it, and it injected itself. No, he put it in his eye, and now something's attached to his eye.
Willingly.
Now, this is just barely off in the distance to the west. These mountain ranges, they go up to the northwest and to the southwest, forming this kind of long, hundreds-mile vertex of a mountain range. And off at the edge of your... So when the next day arises, it's 178 of year 1116. Off in the distance, you see something. A giant cyclopean face. A huge robe-clad angelic man. A statue that has fallen off onto its side. Its insides left out into the elements. And I believe, Books, that their goal... By the way, something important, although they had done this before last session... No, this is the most important thing they did last session. In beating the cryopods, they obtained the centrifuge parts, which are being sought by both the Dawnseekers and Dr. Faid in Larstown. And they've decided that they're going to travel back to Larstown and talk to Dr. Faid, and also maybe see what happened with the siege of Larstown by the forces of the Dawnseekers. So here you are. What do you do? Toss the ball over to Captain Books.
So, is this, just because I wasn't here last week, is this, like, statue head thing, is that on the way to Larstown, or is that in the opposite direction?
It is on the way.
Vertically, yeah.
It's on
We're
the way.
kind of
Larstown
going
should be-
west,
okay.
northwest.
I was going to say, Larstown's either directly west of here, or it might be west and a little bit south.
Yeah, we were cutting, instead of going back the way we know, like through the ship graveyard and back to the Dawnseekers and all that, to try and beat the army back to Larstown, I made the executive decision of just cutting straight west. We have our camel beetle steeds to see if we can make it back. So we're just out in the desert heading west last.
I'm pretty sure if we get to that big head, then we should be able to see Larstown from there.
Or the
Okay,
space
perfect.
elevator.
I say we we head towards the big head, especially because it's a big head and we kind of have to go check it out. But it's on the way, so I feel like we should
with this statue that are
cautiously head in that direction.
is this big head? Do we think this is what the Dawnseekers were asking us to like
Clean up and take a picture of?
refurbish? Yeah.
I don't think it is.
Okay.
Um,
I don't remember. I don't remember if they gave us a description.
Yeah, I think we
I
just
think
told us
we did.
statue.
I didn't take detailed notes, but I seem to recall them saying it was something a little closer to life size.
Yeah, but
Okay.
that would have probably been back the way we are leaving from, right? I'm not sure. Like, it sounded like it would
Possibly.
be closer to that direction.
Well, the dude just said it
remember
was
what
out in
direction
the
we got.
desert. He didn't give us any specific.
Hmm.
He just said, upon your travels, if you find this statue, can you clean it up and give me a picture so I can show my maybe
make
not
it,
girlfriend.
He did make it out to be like a very grand statue, like you would recognize it when you saw it, kind of thing.
I mean, this
So-
thing definitely fits that description, but I
Yeah.
guess we could take some pics just in case. You can't hurt. I mean, also,
Yeah.
does anyone here have a scrapbook? I like to have memories and keepsakes of my adventures.
Seriously?
Right?
Of this planet? Of this planet?
Actually, does anybody have a Kodak?
Everyone
camera?
says that about every planet. Why isn't everyone having fun? I specifically
It's-
requested it. Every
It's another
planet.
sticker for the star chart on the hull of the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do traveler hand computers have cameras built in like ours do, or?
You will need a recording device of some kind.
So
This
no
is
one
a
bought Kodak
retro
camera?
future, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I just have hand computer, electronic tool set, medium communicator.
And I bet my Robo contact lens does not have a camera.
Anyone have drawing supplies?
All right. Well, all right. You said your books. You want to go towards the statue? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to go towards the statue.
You travel for 13 kilometers across the blasted blue sands. You arrive uneventfully at the statue.
Oh, sorry.
How long did that take?
That took 20 kilometers. Took you the better part of half a day's travel. Yeah.
Okay. So could we look around and kind of investigate, see if we could see anything out of the normal?
Not only can you, but roll a d6.
Right.
Okay. You got a 6, which is good. And they also got a 6. You see a shadow as you approach this large face. It looks just like this picture, okay? It was part of a very massive statue at some point, probably 50 meters tall in its day. A robe-clad, angelic-looking man with beautiful blonde hair. And its face in a sneering smile is half covered by blowing sands. It is not only ruined but caked in sand, and you can see different pathways into the face. There are different points, holes, and you've got the neck itself. It would be possible to go inside the cavity of the head. And you see a shadow right here as you approach. And as you get closer, all of a sudden the shadow moves, and it's clear to you that it's a man, and two things happen right away. One is that you hear a whirring sound that you've not heard in many, many years. It is the whirring of power armor. And then all of a sudden, then someone zoof, and then like darts out at superhuman speed away from the statue. Off into the sands among the rocks, hiding from you. Already probably hundreds of meters away.
Is that one of the Dawn
Is that
Seekers?
you?
No.
Was it similar power armor to the Dawn Seekers? Yeah, or was it like old?
Imperial tech.
Yeah, Imperial.
Well, I think that your character would know that both of those things are the same.
Right.
The power armor you experienced would have been newer, but you knew that the Dawn Seekers that you saw were wearing old Imperial power armor. I guess I didn't mention that at the time, but it's, obviously Imperial technology.
I think their power armor is described as being like very like high tech.
Oh, it is high tech, yeah. But history does not progress in this setting linearly.
Gotcha.
It was better.
We had a
points.
bit of an Iron Age.
Yeah, it does that, yeah. Depending on where it is.
Okay. Okay. Do we follow them? Do we try to talk to them?
Captain,
well,
what do you want to do, Captain?
Yeah, if they're in a distance, maybe I would say let's try shouting to them, but I don't necessarily want to follow somebody in power armor. If they're trying to stay away from us, they might, turn violent, and power armor is, pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
So
God knows what kind of weapons they have on that thing.
Is
Right, exactly.
That thing we have can pierce power armor anyways.
From
I would
our time with the Dawn Seekers and like learning about like this divergent kind of culture they have, is there any like greeting, like military kind of greeting that we know from like that kind of era that is carried forward?
You know whatever you know.
Okay.
And anything in the classic Facsimile book.
The hint. Should I
Yeah.
start
And the
looking?
Gazetteer. And the Gazetteer as well.
And the cozy hoodie. Don't
And the
forget about
cozy
the cozy hoodie. Yeah. I mean, you guys were somehow like, you guys are imperialists, so you guys should know some kind of imperial gesture that's probably passed down from ages ago.
I do the salute. I do the salute
Yeah,
of the Imperial Scout
the
Service.
Spaceballs one.
Spaceballs, yeah, of the Imperial Scout Service.
Everybody makes a fool of themselves for a moment, and nothing happens.
Yeah, it was worth a try.
I mean, I'm fine with just shouting like,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey," you know, or like, "Hey, you over there," or "Friend, friend," something like that. Unless anybody has anything more specific, like not generic.
I think I might have something.
Okay.
Stans is gonna just, put on his admiral face and just step forward and says, "This is Admiral Stans of the Imperialists. We've come to bring you home, son. Stand down and come with us. Your mission is over."
Someone shakily starts coming up out of the side of the head, and they're just like, and it's just like an old man and an old woman in shorts, and they raise their hands in terror.
We mean you no harm. We mean you no harm.
Yeah, and I would put out my hands, and kind of try to make myself look less menacing, which would probably make me look more menacing because I would try to smile. And that's not a pretty
Like a vamp with your metal vampire
Just get the
teeth.
finger guns, you know.
Your face tattoos.
glowing face tattoo.
When the woman says, "Look, Rickard, we're saved. It's the MEF."
Yeah.
Rickard.
You hear him. He's not very good at hiding it. He hushes her. He says, "Don't use my name, woman. Just say Paul. Just say P or Paul."
We don't.
Hello there, MEF soldier. I don't mean you any harm. No, please don't shoot.
Badges? We don't have no stinking badges.
We don't have to reveal to them that we're not in the MEF immediately. But
Yeah.
we could say that we're on our way back to Larstown, which is true, you know.
Yeah, maybe we could ask them, just, is there anything we should be cautious of on our way to Larstown? Anything we should know to have a safe journey there.
The woman comes trotting up to you, and these are just old people. Both of them fairly short, squat, elderly, borderline infirm, and they look dehydrated and not well, bags under their eyes. And the woman says, "Well, you must have been hired then by the governor to find us, right?"
Yes. That's
Yeah.
right.
I give him my can.
Oh,
I give him my canteen.
oh, thank the sun. Okay.
We're here to debrief you too.
Okay. I don't know what that means, but we could awfully use some water and some food. And anyways, those awful raiders, oh man, that monster, that robot, whatever that was. Oh, we thought we were dead.
And when when did this happen? Was this recent?
She describes to you essentially groups of, you're able to parse from her story that this was a group of, your certain Dawnseekers that were, by her description, fleeing and shot down, and that one of them was, she says, a robot, but, obviously in the mechanical suit, and that they were hiding here. And they hid from him, and they didn't see much of him or anything except that it was some kind of mechanical being or, your certain power armor. And then you were here.
This was recent?
Yeah, just in the past day.
Okay.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, did we just see the man in the power armor that was trying to hunt him down?
No, but if you come to where they are on the neck, beyond these stone formations, you can see heavy footprints in the sand have not yet been blown away. They are obviously power-armored footprints in a sprint off into the rocky outcroppings beyond. He's probably more than a kilometer away at this point.
Wow.
Well, yeah,
I
it's
would
power armor.
share some. I would share some food
Rations
that I
and
have
water.
in my bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, with them.
Give him food and water. These poor refugees.
I mean, should we? I would, I would ask them for a moment to speak with the crew, and then I would kind of huddle in with everybody and say, should we take them with us or no?
And it's a decent thing to do, Captain.
I'm okay
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah, right.
I have more than
Yeah.
enough rations to get us, myself and a couple other people, back to Larstown in the amount of time we expect this trip to take. So that's not a concern.
I mean, and besides, if one of them croaks, we can always use the dead one for rations anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also that.
For the beetles, right?
No.
Protein. We could also
Okay,
ask
actually,
them.
Protein's protein.
Should we establish now everyone in the party who consents to be cannibalized? In the
I mean,
event of their own death?
if I die, you can
I
eat
don't-
me. I don't care.
I don't think you
Okay,
guys
I'm
would
gonna-
want to eat me.
Yeah.
I don't
I
think
just
that'd
do
be a
it.
good idea.
Just do it
I have to
respectfully.
make a list of which of you I'm okay eating me.
Hey.
You
If
can
I
have my
do die,
arm, and now holds up his prosthetic arm.
but if
I
you
would
do eat
be
me, just be
actually-
respectful about it.
I would be offended, Chapman, if I wasn't chosen to eat you, considering we've been on we own a ship
That's true.
together.
Actually,
I'd be very
even if I don't die under bad circumstances, like even if I die of like a natural cause or something, I want you to eat me afterwards.
Yes.
Just a volunteer.
absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. I was planning on it.
Lungs and all.
already. I think we should ask them though. Hey, we're going to Larstown. We could take you with us and do our best to keep you safe if you'd like to join us. And yeah, we could probably leave out the cannibal stuff to them. But,
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. Ixnay on the cannibal snay.
They agree to come back with you and are very glad that you found them. You have Bluey and who's dead? Is it let's see.
I think.
There's two that were dead.
We had Airlock,
one
Duchess,
was
Strider, and
Jimbo.
Bluey.
Jimbo's dead.
Yeah,
Yeah, Jimbo's
Jimbo,
dead.
Jimbo died.
Rip,
As of
rip
now, we have
Jimbo.
4. We have Bluey, Airlock, Duchess, and Strider.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he's running Airlock now, has had his combination mask on the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, what I was going to say is they come over to the camel beetles. They would be utterly useless if they had to actually walk. So they just assume that they're going to get on these and ride. Too late for you to warn them. And so the man, let's see, he goes by Paul. He
Sometimes.
Indeed. He climbs on top of Airlock, and Airlock just almost deflates into the sand like a balloon and lets out a horrible, horrible stream of choking gas, and this pisses off Bluey really bad, and Bluey rears up and starts fighting with Airlock and the rider.
Stop it!
Niall will try to pull Airlock off to the side to break up the fight.
Okay.
Louis, behave yourself. I'm your father.
Now, what's your strength?
My strength is 11. Yeah.
All right. All you gotta do is not roll snake eyes there, big hoss, as you wrangle this big camel beetle. Or, I mean, I guess a 6 and a 6, but yeah. Okay, so yeah, you roll under it, and Niall, like, gets a rope around Bluey and pulls him off Airlock. Airlock just gives this, like, shy, plaintive look as if they're sorry, and Bluey is just real angry and mad.
Calm down, Bluey.
And that's all.
Well, was Bluey been like walking behind Airlock this whole travel time? Like, I could understand that.
Straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
Are you gonna put
Is Paul okay? I would go check on Paul just to make sure he's.
He is okay. Yes. I think he lingers around for a while. He does not leave Airlock's back until the gas clouds start to vortex and envelop around the backside of Airlock, and then he comes across and starts vomiting in the sand. It's not a completely unusual thing around Airlock, so yeah. All right, what do you guys do next?
I would apologize real quick to Paul and just, try to,
We hold ourselves to a higher standard here at Ziegler Solutions, and yeah. Well, anywho.
I think we would get going back on our way to Larstown then. If they're all good and they're packed up and ready to go, I would probably ask if they had any weapons on them. Just so they could help defend themselves if needed. And if not, maybe we could share something. If anybody has an extra gun or knife or something. I don't know. Not that they would probably be able to do much with it.
To confirm, is it one of these guys was wearing power armor, or is the person that was wearing power armor the one who's like 1K away?
The person that's 1K away. These are two old people, an old man and an old woman wearing shorts and short sleeve shirts. And they do not have weapons. Yeah.
And he was alone?
Power armor guy? I think so.
Yeah, they hid from him. They hid inside the neck.
I just want to say, like, that might be an opportunity. So we have one of the many intersectional jobs we have is to remove him. A separate job being make it look like an accident kind of thing, right? Or frame one of the other Dawn Seekers.
Wait, now,
So
actually,
I'm sorry.
are you saying that guy who was running around in his power armor, you think that was one of the Dawn Seeker leaders?
I mean, we haven't seen anyone else in power armor.
And
They said that they were fleeing, and if they were fleeing, maybe they were already repelled from Larstown.
Yeah. I guess I'm just curious why they'd be around on their own right now. Oh, sorry, Andrew.
Oh no, so if the guy in power armor was coming after them, then maybe we could use them as like bait if that's who we're trying to find. But was he coming after them, or was he just kind of hanging out with them?
They're both horrified by this plan, and also they don't believe they were seen. They saw him kind of leaning up against this thing. They thought he was a robot. They thought it sounded as if he were singing a song or something psychotic like that, and touching this thing lovingly, the outside of the head of this big statue, and they hid inside the neck.
Could I describe Dawnseeker Ulatare and see if it matches what they perceived?
Yeah, you could describe the power armor, and because he was encased at the time, but
Okay.
but it does line up with being Imperial battle dress.
Niles, are you thinking to like go after him?
Andrew, you're a little quiet.
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
He's on a distant.
Sorry, how about this? Is
Better.
this better?
Perfect.
Okay, sorry about that.
I don't know if it's our best course, but I don't know that we'll have another opportunity like that.
Okay, well, the Rangers wanted us to kill one of the Dawnseeker leaders, perhaps Aladore was the one they told us about, and make it look like it was one of the other Dawnseeker leaders responsible for it. We haven't the immediate means and idea for how we would do that under these circumstances.
We also don't have anything, because I'm assuming we would all have common knowledge of power armor, at least somewhat. I don't think any of our weapons could even hurt power armor.
No.
No.
We need like
I
laser.
mean,
we
at
need
this
like
point-
laser rifles.
At this point, do you
Just
think it
had a
might be
grenade.
useful to have somebody track him to see where? I don't know if splitting the party is a great idea, but like if maybe, it wouldn't really work. Otherwise, then I would say we disregard it for now, because Chapman's right. I mean, even if we caught up with him, what would we do? Plus the whole making it look like somebody else, did it. I don't know how. Yeah, I can't think of a way. We could also take a
It's
vote
gonna
on
be
it.
tricky.
Yeah. I say we go just towards Larstown and, deal with that next. But I'm willing, we could vote, and if the majority wants to go after him, I'm definitely game.
Sounds like no one is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
All right.
would say we just go straight back to Larstown. I think that's our best
Yeah.
hope.
Yeah. Sure.
All right.
For sure.
Well,
Where do these facsimile books actually talk about power armor?
it says battle dress,
Mercenary-
or
mercenaries.
battle dress, I think is what it says.
Yeah,
There's combat armor and then battle dress, I think is what it's called.
I'll find it eventually. Just the perennial challenge of Traveler is just the rule book.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I got it's not too bad actually for this. I can find it real quick, no problem. And because you would know all these things. So combat armor in this case, combat armor. So for example, just for funsies here, if you were to try to use a rifle against combat armor, it's at a -5 penalty. And then at close range, -4. No, I'm sorry, that's rifle, but -5 to hit combat armor. If you were to try to punch combat armor, it's at -6. For some reason, if you use your teeth or claws, I just love how simulationist this is. Your teeth. Now we know somebody where
Someone could do it.
I'm going to tell you that somebody's a can opener, but it's still not going to be great. But even horns and hooves, like if you got into combat with the camel beetle, I have options. That's great. Anyways,
We got options.
all in all, it's very hard to hit someone in combat armor and effectively puncture the armor and hurt them.
All right.
It's the toughest armor in the game. Okay, so here you are. Books. Where do you all go next then?
We're gonna head in the direction of Larstown.
Which direction is that?
Is there a
Wasn't that
road
west?
from here?
What's that?
Is there a road from like leading from this head anywhere?
No.
Shucks.
Could we? How high is the head? Like, if we climbed up on it, would we be able to see any further, or is it not really that? It's not going to give us an advantage.
It's probably 15 meters high. It's quite high. You want to try to climb on it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let's go
I
back
think
to
that
the
would be
head
good.
for a second. Looks like it's booting somebody out and bringing them back in.
I have to refresh Foundry because it stopped
Ah,
Yeah.
rendering.
I
It's
got kicked
getting,
out a couple of times.
sorry.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Same.
Okay, hopefully it hangs in there, but yeah, so let's see here. So you climb to the top of this. As you do so, you start climbing, presumably up the nose, or maybe the neck, something where you have good purchase, and where you can actually grab hold of a hole so that you can climb. Otherwise, it'd be smooth. And as you climb, put your hand, because there are these holes. This is not a flaw in the image. There's holes. So you, whether the neck or the head, you grab a hold of it. Who climbs up first?
I'll go for it.
Up.
All right. Sounds like
I'll put
Chapman got
myself
it
at
first.
the top.
So Chapman, you put your hand to the hole. It's the only handhold. It's not smooth. And something. Are you wearing a glove?
Probably not.
Okay. Something hurts your hand, actually. Almost as if it's like glass. But as you hold and you bring your hand back, there is a skeletal hand clutching out of this hole. And other than that, it is not hard to climb up the top of this. And I will bring you back to the map, and I will show you what you can see from there. And I will increase it. So you can see...
And I will toss him my binoculars if that would give him.
That's even better, yeah.
See the arrow that was drawn when last we left. Yes, it's there.
Yeah, not only with binoculars and on top of this, not only can you see, because you're not restricted by line of sight as much, and you're not, the outcroppings and stuff don't interfere with the line of sight. So from where you are, you can actually see the mine. You can see the silver spire of the Dawn Guard, and you can see Larstown, and you can see the ship's graveyard, and you can see some very strange structure off in the distance. It looks as if it's made of coral, and it spirals up some 50 meters up into the yeah.
Could you zoom out again? I'm drawing as fast as I can, like the shittiest map ever. Okay. At the graveyard, I think. Okay. And then there's a weird thing. I'm just gonna write that. And then I should probably make a quick line for the roads.
Yeah, and those are roads that I think what you're talking about there, going to the mine, going out to the ranch, going to the Silver Spire. Yeah.
Could you go down just a wee bit?
Yeah, you could
No.
probably zoom
Oh,
out.
no, I just need to zoom out, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, we're good. This is gonna come in handy in the future, probably, if we spend much more time here on Karth.
All right. So there you go. Chapman is able to relay this information. What do you do next?
I would ask him if he saw like if it looks like Larstown is under attack, or if there's any signs of a recent battle.
Smoke or anything, or...
I'm sorry. Yes, I forgot to mention that. There's absolutely smoke. You can see streams of multiple columns of smoke coming up from Larstown, black smoke.
Shucks.
And not only that,
Yeah.
smoke on the elevator.
I was about to ask if the elevator was intact.
Oh,
All right. We're heading towards certain danger, almost probably.
No, we're good with the Dawn Seekers. They're good guys.
not if they
Are
destroyed
they?
the space elevator.
I don't think they have anything that can destroy it. I mean, honestly, but
Well,
I might be wrong.
I mean, maybe it's just taking a beating, but perhaps it could still work. But yeah, I guess we still have to head that way. So I say we keep going.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. It's clear to you that it's going to take you a couple of days to get there. Not a couple of full days, but the remaining of today and then tomorrow. So,
Can
go
we
ahead.
see someplace that would be suitable to make a camp between here and there?
No.
Or is it just kind of open? Yeah.
I mean,
Just thinking.
there is the giant face, but then you got Armor Man out there somewhere, and yeah, you could get here into these into the mountain range. You could probably push into nighttime, use your lights.
I was gonna say, the straight line path is about 60 miles, which is like 12 hours of travel. Which, yeah, we'd probably split up into 2 days. It wouldn't actually be that much more added on
Yeah.
if we instead first stopped at the mountain range, I don't think.
That would be in the
Instead of
direction that power armored person went, right?
southwards.
No, he went this ways. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm sorry. I have it back. I have messed up. You're correct. He went this way, south.
Shucks.
But I mean, hey, it's a
Yeah,
big,
okay,
it's a big open desert. So what is your intent? Is your intent to try to make it to where you can at least cover yourself on one side from the winds, if not two sides or something? Is that, Okay, yeah, you could totally do that. I mean, you can just kind of go this way, and you can push into the night to make it there. So, no problem. That ends this day. I feel like you had more visibility than that. There we go. That makes more sense. Okay. So yeah, you find a rocky outcropping that can mostly cover you on two sides to make camp. And the gas giant rises the next day. You can clearly see Larstown. You do not hear any gunfire or anything like that. But you leave the outcropping, you go back out in the desert, because if you stayed in the mountain range, it would take you another day.
Probably warn our two elderly guests that the situation in Larstown is almost certainly full of peril and danger and all those kinds of things we're going to need to scope out ahead of time.
Did we tell them about the governor?
If they ask, I don't know how interested they are in.
Well, they
being
mentioned
up
like,
to
oh, the
date on
governor
what-
sent you to find us, kind of. That's how they.
Maybe we should ask them why they asked us that. Like, I'm sure it's nothing. I'm sure they're just, old and hope that somebody would take care of them. But maybe I would turn around and just say, hey, you made a comment about the governor sending people to help you. Is there any particular reason why you think that would happen? Like, do you know anybody important, or
Yeah, so
are you?
right, so
Do you
like
happen to have any leverage?
yeah, the woman, she says, of course the governor would send somebody for us, and then the man like coughs, and it's like clear like he's like silencing her, and then he does not do a good job hiding it. And there have been other times in your journey, just in the past day. And by the way, let's kind of rewind to nighttime, okay? Where it's clear that he doesn't want her to talk, and they are both otherwise very quiet. And he says to you, Books, no, we're just two tourists, and we figured that surely they would send the MEF after us, but looks like they had their own trouble.
Right. And so I would call a quick meeting with the crew. I'd say, we're gonna talk about some crew stuff before we hit the hay. And I would say to the crew, once we're out of earshot, that I think we should try to separate them. I think that one group should talk to Paul or Ricard and keep him busy with something so that the other group could talk to his wife, because it seems like they're hiding something, and it seems like she's the one that almost keeps giving up information and he stops her. So maybe if we could remove him from the picture temporarily, we could actually get some info from them, because it seems like they're hiding something.
Anyone
I'll
got
take them
anything?
on a patrol, little security patrol around the camp.
Yeah, that'll work. I'll go with you.
Yeah. They'll make them
They
feel
talk to
important
the old
too.
woman. Yeah.
Books, roll a d6. Oh dear. Let me see if I gotta do some stuff here. Oh dear. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, that's the worst roll that you can do. And what's worse is now I have to fiddle with this thing here for a minute instead of actually telling you what happens. Give me a second here. See if maybe if I do this, will it work? Should be better. So here you all are, and I apologize. This actually occurs at nighttime. Okay, so you like journeyed with them, you had this conversation with them. You've got your camel beetles here.
It's a kraken in combat armor.
Let me get like a.
Now that would be the worst possible battle squids.
Let's see here. All right. So, and then I'm going to roll for who this happens to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to roll a d8. 7. Oh no.
Great.
I counted from left to right if you're curious about what's about to happen. So, you all start to smell you have two things that happen. First of all, so you're making this plan. They're going to separate these two out, and you're going to try to do like cops, right? Where you can have talk to two different groups and get a true story that way. And so you're just about to hatch this plan. You turn around in the dark. And I assume you either have lights, otherwise you're not going to be able to see, or you have a campfire, one of the two. Yeah. And you smell something really bitter and sweet. It is an overwhelming smell. It has a sweet, bitter, like candy, like cardamom. And then you hear a like that, and a slithering noise. You smell the sweet smell.
Coral. It's the coral.
Coral?
Everyone.
Are you sure it's not
Yes,
graboids?
I'm sure that's a different thing.
I hate graboids.
I think it's a different thing. I told about 3 different wildlife things when we were first. It's the coral. Get away from it.
Okay.
Could I take a look around with my robo contact and see if I can make them out?
All of a sudden, from nearby the camel beetles, you see this whipping tendril that's probably this wide, just like flap out from behind a rocky outcropping and grab hold of Paul's leg, and he screams, "Ah!" and he's dragged behind a rock.
Well, that's the end of him.
We
Now
did
we can talk to
want
the woman.
Yeah, right? I mean, it kind of worked out itself.
And she starts screaming, "Ah!" in the night air, just screaming as loud as she can.
How far has he been dragged away?
Well, you hear crunching noises and screaming coming from him and the sounds of bones. It's behind these rocks here, whatever's going on.
So
I would
maybe
go
we
for
should
grenade.
run.
Good time.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna save Paul. I think we should probably get to
let's
safety.
run.
She says, he was a
Yeah.
bastard anyway, let's get out of here.
No. Congratulations, you're a widow.
She just like kicks her heels against the camel beetle and rides one of them off away from you all.
Let's go.
Yep.
You get on the camel
Yeah.
beetles and ride off.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna ride backwards with shotgun prepped.
This smell persists for a while, and you hear the clicking noises and the screams of Paul for a little while, and then you hear it no more. And then finally, after it's quite dark at this point, so you'll have had to have camped. And she tells you everything. She says, who is she? Let me find her again. She is...
Well, she's either a ma or something.
She
That's what everybody calls each other.
Her name is Hiromi, and she works at the ranch, or did. And she says that she is awfully old. She's in her 30s, you see. And
Oh man.
God, this planet's terrible.
she says that she's like, now look here. Every once in a while the MEF, they might stick a gun in your face and expect a little more pay than what you can give, but otherwise it's pretty fair around here. And you just gotta pay things on time. You gotta get your work done. And was about 10 years ago, that feller came in here, and I'm a fool, and I fell in love with him, and his name was Rickard. And
He had, I don't blame you. He had redeeming qualities.
he was awfully handsome. He was not. And we had a tryst there for 10 years, but he didn't tell nobody. You see, Rickard's actually, he was a director.
Ooh.
Now,
A filmmaker?
Solomon would know what this means.
Yeah.
Speaking of Yakuza, this is, when someone says they're a director, what they mean is they're part of the upper level of one of the corporations, like Manadyne or what's the other one, Graxatech or whatever, one of the corporations of the Federation that's part of Hegemony Space. And these things are often hereditary. It's a kind of mixture of like a hereditary meets meritocratic, kind of like the strongest sons survive kind of situation, where they both, those who are connected, but also you're expected to pull it off, and they have a brutal kind of nobility. Now, this would be like you, actually, a baron. Probably a lesser rank. I don't have my classic traveler book. Well, anyways, whatever's
but
below
this way
baron.
the card's more important.
Knight, right?
Yeah. Knight,
Yeah.
yes.
So this person would have been worth a lot of money if you could have had his remains, or his living body. But
Are we going back?
No.
Or at least his kidneys.
Yeah.
Those,
You can get kidneys from
those-
anywhere.
those valuable kidneys.
Did he have
Okay.
a gun?
after all of this vileness, Chapman's like, there's like 500 kidneys back in Larstown right now.
I can't believe how much I've heard them whining about not having kidneys when you gave up your kidneys.
I'm just gonna put it out there.
Hey,
We're
just
probably
wait,
best off
kidneys
getting
are
kidneys
valuable.
somewhere else.
Yeah.
I don't trust the quality of these kidneys.
Yeah, there are
Yeah.
kidneys on other better planets.
Yes. We could get kidneys from better people.
No one to blame but ourselves.
Okay, you make it to the gates of Larstown. No problem. Everything's fine the next day. She tells you that she just wants to disappear back to the ranch as soon as she gets there, and she hopes that that they'll take her back. Essentially, she has nothing to offer and nothing valuable. And you get back to the gates, and you can see that there's clearly the scars of battle among the walls. The walls are shattered in places, but it's also clear that order has been restored here, and that they are under martial control. Like they have checkpoints set up, they have guard barriers along the walls. They've put up improvised barriers where the walls have been destroyed, and some of the buildings are destroyed. There are stains and score marks and craters in the streets, and stuff's been tore up, but people are about their day. And other than it looking as if the MEF is like on high alert, everything looks like it still mostly works in Lars. And you can still hear music coming from the karaoke bar across the way, except for one thing. This picture doesn't really depict it.
Is your favorite bartender dead, guys?
But down here at the base, the structure, the actual structure, like the spaceport, if you will, that has been destroyed. And the elevator simply hangs tethered up in the air from space. It will probably those things that tether it, whatever kind of superstructure, whatever very high tech level materials actually enable a space elevator. It's not got long, and then it's going to drift off from orbit, or it's going to crash back into the planet. The space elevator will probably be destroyed. But either way, it's not operable at all.
And we'll be stranded.
Can we see any ships coming in to land or anything like that?
Well, just as a reminder, no ships land or take off here, because there is a ancient antediluvian orbital laser system that prevents anything from doing that.
Orbital, or is it from the sky or the space elevator?
Orbital, it's
They can,
Captain Books.
Yeah.
I have input on our course of action. I think a lot of the urgency of pursuing either the Dawnseeker quest or the Ranger's quests was based on the assumption that this battle could have been a lot more dire, but it seems like we're on the other end of it. So I think that gives us a little bit more wiggle room to put that stuff off. And instead, maybe let's just turn in our centrifuge materials to the doctor so he can get started on helping with the whole public health crisis. And then I think we might want to I think we might want to sell ourselves out to help repair that elevator.
Yeah.
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 I think
that sounds like a great plan.
We've got
Maybe
a great
we could,
engineer.
Could we use the centrifuge for any kind of leverage with this? Is there anything we could use that to
If any of that
was
this elevator instead of public health, I'd prioritize that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what I was.
I mean,
we might be.
If it's between the public health of Larstown and me getting off this dirt ball, I'm getting off this dirt ball.
Yeah, I hate to tell you guys this. As much as I want to say yes, just consider the scale for a moment. What you're talking about is something that can fit in a few backpacks that you brought in. And what we're talking about here is something that's
gargantuan engineering.
It's gargantuan, this thing is the size of a whole structure. And yeah.
Have a backup idea in that case. If it's a matter of needing sufficient material, there is the spaceship graveyard. And we know of at least one vessel there that is at least somewhat operational.
I have one idea. Okay, so if we can somehow get into Larstown, which is under martial law, for one thing, that's plan A. We deliver the centrifuge parts to the dock so you can start the public health thing. Does what's her name, Ramona or whatever? since she was in a tryst with Riker, would she know if there was any, like, would he have spoken about any control plant panels or anything like near the government buildings for the orbital space cannon?
So, we'll put a pin in the Dr. Faid thing, since she's here and she's going to leave, she tells you that that sort of information would absolutely be in the administrative office. That if you can get in there, they have that information, because they've operated this thing since the colony was established, so they know things about the elevator.
So we need to go to admin. We should deliver the stuff to Dr. Faid and go to admin and sell ourselves out. And while you guys are talking to her,
We have to call it selling ourselves out. Come on.
we're mercenaries.
No,
okay?
I was trying to say we're not volunteering. I want money for it.
Yeah,
if we
yeah,
can.
exactly. Yeah. Or transport off this planet.
Or transport off this planet. I don't care if we work for free as long as we get off the planet.
Yeah.
Anyways, if we can just go to admin, you guys do the business talking, of course. Solomon, if he can, will sneak off and look for these controls or some information about it, because we might, just as a backup plan, we might need that orbital laser.
I think we're gonna need you at admin. Or
Why is it because I have admin +8? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, it would help.
Okay, so
yeah.
let's start with
Okay.
Dr. Faid, right? So is everybody going in there, or is it certain people, or what?
I'll go in.
We could all
I'll
go
go
in,
in.
right?
Yeah.
I'll go.
Yeah. I'll stay outside. I'll watch. Keep an eye out.
I just want to pull a prank on him. We could scare him. We could be like, oh, we all have, I don't know, disease, something horrible. We all have leprosy. We just all swarm him.
He's a robot. He doesn't care.
All right,
I'm
so
just
you
like, I don't know, as a healthcare professional, he might feel overwhelmed, but
you re-enter the Larstown again. Like I said, there's damage here from the battle. Otherwise, it's just getting on about its business as best they can. There are checkpoints and guards around every corner and intersection, and every break in the wall and gate into the town. In order to get to the hospital, you come up to the town square, and there you pass by old statue of Lars. He's got his foot propped up there, on something. He's got a shovel, and he's waving friendly. And you see a plaque. It's 3 meters, bronze. I'm sorry, the statue's 3 meters. He's got mutton chops. He's got a shovel, a beatific expression. Left boot tip is rubbed to a shine. And the plaque on it says, Larstown sprung up at the ancient elevator's base after the first MEF expedition, led by Colonel Lars Tanaka, discovered Karth for the good of Mani. Devoured by a sand squid shortly after landing, Larstown was named in his honor and memory. Years after his landing. Let's see here. And you also see there a scrawny teen. And he's got a pile of dirty blankets. He's squatting there. And he says, please, everybody, just a few credits. Just a few. He's holding out his hands.
I give him 10 credits.
He
I
says,
say,
oh, go ahead.
oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to say, as the credits go over, I was going to take my hand and grab it real quick before the kid could wrap his arms around or hand around it and say, what could you tell us? We've been out of town for a bit. What could you tell us that we may not know?
His hat falls down over his face as you're holding his hand, keeping him from getting the credits, holding the credits. He says, well, I don't know much, sir, but I reckon if I had quite a few more credits, I might be able to help you all out. say, another 90 credits.
We're just begging.
Or-
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I
Or
can
how
go to the
about
bar and get this for free books.
He
Yeah,
lets go.
nice.
He lets go of the credits and he says, "You're right. I'm awfully sorry." Gathers up his stuff, starts to leave.
Wait. I give him 100 credits.
what about
Solomon's gonna give him
You
some
just, you
food.
sort of just got hustled.
yeah,
Guys,
bargain a little bit or barter? or
Look,
not barter,
look.
barter.
look, I've got a soft spot
Well,
for kids,
it's not
okay?
like he can go off planet. We can find him, okay? If he gives
Yeah.
us false information, we know what he looks like.
He like, so you hand him 100 credits and you see him nod twice, just like this way and that way. And the second nod, you see someone turn around from a building and leave the corner. And he says, "Well, now that's awfully generous, sir. I'd be happy to help you any way I can."
Who are those people
We
you're
almost-
nodding to? Do we almost get rolled?
Oh,
What was that?
well, it's good to have friends, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah.
Debatable.
I was
Are
just
you our friend?
saying hi. Oh, I'm definitely your friend.
Good. Are you my friend? Because I gave you money.
Absolutely, sir. I'm
Good.
absolutely your
Good.
friend.
Good.
Now,
So, Fred.
what could Ragnar Nakamura do for you?
Say Nakamura?
Yeah.
That's a strong
Right.
name.
Isn't
Nah,
that the name
sorry.
of the other guy? Or
I thought
Maybe
it
I'm-
was, but I think we're thinking of Rakamundro.
Is he related to Lars Nakamura?
It was
whatever.
Lars. He had a
Ragnar.
different last name.
Ragnar Nakamura.
Yeah. What is there anything I can help you with, or are you just serving the tides in your generosity, sir?
I got
We
a
want
question.
Information. Yeah.
Yeah, what happened?
Yeah.
Oh, awful. Those barbaric raiders, those tribals, they came here and blew up the walls, came in, started murdering people. Awfully thankful for the MEF. They were brave and held them back. Killed most of them. But a lot of people died. We don't have a lot of places left to bury. Too rocky.
Did the MEF loot any of the raiders' bodies? Anybody in special gear from what you saw?
You know, come to think of it, yeah, there's some people used to be prospectors, coral addicts, you know. They started picking the bodies apart. Nothing good. Some guns, but there was one man, or a robot, or a machine, or something, had a big old cannon. He was one of the things that could tear down the walls. I don't know if it was a robot, but something big and mechanical like.
did you happen to see
Did you
where he
where he went?
went?
Why, he just fled with the rest of them when we drove him off.
Which way?
He points to the east.
Figured.
Well, if you
did
don't need any-
of the
oh, go ahead.
leadership here die?
no,
Where-
think the tides. You can tell he's sarcastic. No, Marshal Clark, his staff, and his lieutenants, they're still around.
Where were they taking the captured equipment? I might be interested in one of them rifles.
Well, Marshal Clark and the MEF rounded it all up. said that it was important to keep those weapons.
How in the heck could the MEF defeat whoever attacked you? I mean, they didn't seem like the best troops in the world.
Well, my impression was looked awful like they were getting prepared for something in advance. It looked like I thought maybe a drill
Someone
or
tipped
something,
them off?
but seems like they knew they were coming.
Solomon just smiles.
We didn't
know.
Oh,
miss
and his
that,
message
right?
finally went through.
Okay.
Well, if that's all, sirs,
Well,
I think I'll head on off, but if you ever need anything else, I like to come out
Keep
here
in mind.
and just spend some time beneath Lars sometimes.
Are you related to Lars?
Haha, not me, sir. No, I'm not no royal blood. He walks
What
away.
is
Okay, go ahead.
okay?
No, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say, what is your family situation? That name, your name's kind of is familiar for some reason, and I can't quite place it. Is there a reason for that?
I ain't nobody. At least now I ain't.
Were you?
He's like a young person, young man or old teen, one of the two, and yeah. So any connections he would have had would have been older people. And he says, "I ain't got nobody left, sir. I'm the last one I know of. Rest of them dead."
would you like to get off this planet?
There ain't nobody getting off this planet, sir. I hate to tell you. He points up to the space elevator.
What if I told you that we might have a way off the planet?
That sounds awfully far-fetched, sir. You know, anybody that's tried coming through, I've seen a couple since I've been alive. Every once in a while, handful, 3, 4, 5 over the years. And they just turn into an arc of fire in the sky. And they just come down the same direction every time.
Yeah, that's the orbital laser.
Yeah. Well, Solomon's gonna step closer so he can just say this in a whisper. We know of a working ship that just needs a few bit more of a repair. And we actually came back to just turn off that laser so we can get out of here.
If you fly a ship, sir, it'll get shot down. How you turn off that laser? Ain't nobody ever done it. Besides, I think these credits here, I thought I might buy myself something nice, but I think I might buy a grave. See, most of us here will be dead in a few years. Maybe all of us. They ain't nowhere to bury us. Too rocky, you see.
Well,
That's depressing.
you put some feelers out around the administration area. Let us know. You guys won't be going to an early grave. You guys can get off planet with us.
So you really want to try to get a ship out through the sky off that toward that gas giant?
Oh, we got no other choice.
I think we do.
Yes.
What's our other choice?
I think there's a lot of information that's been volunteered.
I think we can repair this. I think plan A is to not try
You
to.
think we can repair a mega structure with
Yes.
low
I think-
tech?
I
think we have a better.
I'm not going to suggest it's impossible, but I think something that would be clear to your character is there's this problem, which is that like you there are problems with an S. That doesn't mean you can't do this or you shouldn't try, but you've been warned about having vehicles close to the ground. And then if you go too high in the air, you know what happens with that. So It would be a feat of flying and repair. It's not impossible, but it would be an adventure.
I'm saying this planet is filled with all kinds of high-tech stuff lying around, ruins of things, ripe for scavenging. I mean, we've already been doing that. And we even know of a whole graveyard full of starships that we can cannibalize for whatever material we need for this.
If we can even just slow down the deterioration to buy us some time, that would probably be worthwhile.
And also,
are you all saying this out loud?
I am, yes.
Okay.
This would be in the interest
have we
of
left where the
everyone
kid is?
in Lars. This should be in the interest of everyone in Larstown. The MEF should be in favor of this as well. They want the elevator. This wouldn't just be us doing it. We would be, helping a community effort to repair this thing.
So the kid then, you reveal all this stuff, and you're gonna want to call. By the way, I'm gonna toss the ball back over to the captain to organize this.
Hold up.
Books, Captain.
Everyone knows Karth is full of ruins. Like, come on, that's not a revelation.
No. You're a group of extremely talented, expert ex-military personnel who
just look
all
at
the
us, Ross.
beans in front of the street urchin.
I don't think we should,
nonchalantly.
It's okay. I just want to make sure I understand.
There's no secret. We walk into the room and everyone knows exactly what we're about.
We got to vote for and a vote against. Books, go ahead.
We have that.
Go ahead, Books. I want to hear it. Go ahead.
I am adamantly opposed to telling this kid anything else. To be honest,
Yes,
I don't think
we've told him five
we
times
also
as much as we should have told him.
We gave him money and then we gave him a bunch of information as well. I feel like we didn't really.
And he gave us like nothing.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't ask for anything.
Exactly.
We asked for information and he gave us nothing useful.
I kind of want to shake him down for 100 credits.
Depressing story. Just a
We're
depressing
not
story
shaking
about.
We're
how
not
he's
shaking
gonna
down
buy a grade.
kids. We're not shaking down
not.
kids, okay?
Why not?
I think
This
not
kid
okay.
shook us down.
That's
Yeah,
where I draw the
yeah.
line. That's where I draw the line.
he made
Look,
out well.
he's not a
I
kid.
think
He's a ripe, middle-aged person.
He's disappeared.
15 years old.
He's
right.
disappeared down an alley. Okay, go ahead,
it's like-
Books.
Now
Here,
it targets in
here,
our
it's
heads.
Books. Go ahead. You got it.
I think we should proceed with going to see the doc, and we should get
Yeah.
away from this kid for now. I mean, we know where to find him if we need him for anything else, but I also don't think we should offer too much information to anybody else because we never know who they're friends with or what they may do with that information, unless we have like a coordinated plan to use that information for something. I think we should kind of just keep things on the DL for now and head to the dock.
Yeah.
We
That's
need
my-
to keep our secret,
Yeah.
because now someone else might be looking for a functional ship somewhere.
Right, because everyone on this planet is gonna not everyone, but a lot of people are gonna want a way to get off now that, especially that they can't. So we don't want to plant any ideas in anyone else's head, especially if it's a limited resource. Like if it turns out like there's one ship available,
I shouldn't have mentioned that, but otherwise, I think everything I said is evident. Like that, obviously, we are travelers and we are coming to and from town with lots of materials frequently. Like, high time the
I'm
MEF
sure.
considers us an asset.
Okay, so the captain says we're heading to the hospital. So it's a pink adobe structure with flaking paint on the outside. Ancient symbols that indicate that it is a medical facility on the exterior. The interior, when it opens, is clean. There are examination tables and strange glass bottles, syringes. The whole place has an antiseptic smell, and you hear the intermittent whirring of a centrifuge that will stop and then begin again. And then an android comes out and says, "Oh, hello again."
Hey, friend.
Do you need medical assistance?
No, actually, we wanted to talk to you about something you were looking for.
He like gives a fake like opens his mouth and he's like, "You have the parts?"
Take a look.
Yeah.
He looks at it and he says, "These are operable parts for a centrifuge. Within 24 hours, I can repair the centrifuge with these parts." You are good on your word, and so am I. And he goes and gets a large number of hard credits. Let's see here. It is, looking for the number. This is the cost of the ship's mortgage. So in lieu of that, because it actually you guys have the money for the mortgage, I want to offer, although that it's fair because that was the deal. So we can pay one mortgage payment, and it is, let's see, for the whole group, 70,000 credits. And and so he gives you enough money to pay another payment on the Lucky Yo, and then for the rest of the crew, entirely 70,000 among you.
I love that. It was amazing. He didn't betray us. He didn't hire anybody to kill us. No haggling. Just, we should do work with the androids more often.
Exactly. They're good people.
And,
I could use additional services if you are interested.
Always willing to hear out a proposal. What's up?
Well, for one, I suspect there are living polyps in the cave. If only someone could bring them, I would probably pay 250,000 credits. Yeah, you guys made
There's
like
this whole problem
40 million
with the
credits on it.
space-time- Yeah, there's this whole problem with the space-time continuum that we can't disrupt, so...
Yeah.
We can't take the polyps to him.
Yeah.
Trust us.
He says, okay, well, other than that, I could also use test subjects for the good of the people of Larstown if anyone wanted to test the drug.
Oh,
Yeah.
we've got a little urchin that we could use.
we got a volunteer we just met, and could I help you? If I helped, would this decrease the time for when the centrifuge would be up?
Why, yes. I would give
Yeah.
2,000 credits per test subject.
into this centrifuge, what it's going to be used for was to reduce the radiation or something like that, right?
It is to help allay the aging effects and other detrimental effects of the exposure to coral.
You need 2 kidneys.
Hold on one moment. And he goes over and he like,
Check.
and then he like a dot matrix printer is like, and he's like, these are all of the required organs and the potential side effects of the drug that I can see. And he gets like a 17-page printout. It's like a stack. He's like, it seems that it would be preferable that you have a kidney, 2 kidneys.
Yeah,
Dang it.
well, sometimes you don't.
Do you have kidneys that you can provide?
I'm afraid not.
Doc,
But
let me ask you
it
something.
is only a risk, however. I estimate a 20% risk of death.
Wow.
If you lack a kidney, it has been my observation that kidneys are rather important.
Is anyone doing this?
What'd you say, Books?
I'm gonna pass on being this test subject, but I was gonna ask the doc if Doc, I'm sure you've noticed what's going on with the space elevator. What would you do if you had to get off the planet and the space elevator was down? Like, hypothetically speaking, you're a smart man, or well, not man, but you're smart. How would you get off the planet?
I'm afraid that I am unable to answer that question because I would never betray my duty to the people of Larstown.
But if the people of Larstown, let's say they needed to get off the planet too, you would go with them, right? Because you're part of them and that's your duty. So if they had to get off the planet and you were accompanying them, I'm sure you'd want to help them. And how would you do that?
Hypothetically.
I'm not an
Hypothetically, of course.
I'm not an astrophysical engineer or an aeronautical engineer. I'm a doctor. However, upon a cursory analysis, I believe it is astronomically minuscule, the probability, such that it could be dismissed that anyone will ever make it off this planet.
Minuscule, but it's...
So you're saying there's a chance.
Are you saying just hold up, just under the current circumstances or under any circumstances, no matter what efforts?
Well, there is, of course, the orbital defense platform. It is a level of technology that only a hegemony ship could deal with. Even then, hegemony ships would likely take losses in confronting or dealing with the orbital laser platform. Now, if someone could control the orbital laser platform, anything as simple as a signal could bring additional ships here to Karth. Not to mention any existing ships that are already on the planet could enter or leave.
I can't believe you're pushing us towards the hijack the orbital laser idea. Come on.
It's the only way off the planet now, guys.
Yeah.
The space elevator.
We can fix this.
We can't fix
We have
it.
Why not? We have such a good bargaining position.
Okay, let me put it this way. What resources we have on the ground, no matter even if the MEF helps us, we don't, even if we could get the parts from the ships, we have no idea if they're compatible with this, as they called it, an ancient space elevator. So all we know is that we can go out there and waste our time deconstructing ships for parts to bring back, and it just wouldn't work. What we do know, however, is there's a control system somewhere in Larstown in the Adamant, and that one or possibly even more of these ships could run. So all we'd have to do is just turn off the space laser, go back, and get a ship up and running, and we can get off the planet.
Ross, I want to clarify, is that a realistic concern that the elevator could be completely incompatible with any technology anywhere?
Yeah, I just want to clarify that option. So here, and your characters would know this. In order to do repairs, what you would need to do, as I understand your plan, Chapman, is you would need to repair a ship, identify parts that you think could be used, fly it nap of the Earth, avoiding any hazard on the ground and not getting shot down by the orbital laser, and then under time pressure be able to assemble the parts and put it together before you're shot down by the orbital laser. Is that impossible? No. Is that a very exciting task? Yes. That would be very and it could, you all could just die.
That is not necessarily how I envisioned it. Does the MEF not have any vehicles that they could use to haul material? Or is there no trucks anywhere in Larstown?
I think I believe if you recall correctly, they decided they didn't need those, and you kind of did something with those.
We
saw
kind of did
those.
something with those. Yeah.
Isn't that in the future?
It
That's
is in the future, but it happens, so it happens.
So, I mean, turning
No
off
amount of camel
the
beetles
space
can
laser.
haul this stuff.
The best way to repair this space elevator.
Now, I'm not saying you
If
can't
you
do this. I'm just saying that it would be a daring thing. And yeah, you could probably find beasts of burden, and there are other tribes. There's also the other two factions and stuff. And yeah, I mean, I think you could build a what is that? A dart convoy, a dart convoy, and bring the bring the parts back. Yeah.
was gonna say,
Yeah,
they
If we
can't
can
make
get
contact
everybody
with, like,
to kumbaya and work together here, which is a big ask.
I
we
mean,
can't make contact with any other planets, right? Because that would need to be by ship.
yeah, I could reach into orbit with my backpack. That's it. Like, I don't think the long range can go farther.
Is there anyone that's up on the top of the elevator in the like where all the ships are docked right now? Is they-
Dr. Faid can easily answer that. He's like, well, yes, during the battle, in fact, some MEF personnel, in fact, were in the elevator at the time, and they had went up into orbit.
Well, I mean, if someone's up there right now, has access to some of the ships that are currently docked, they could go back to Mani and ask for help and get supplies and whatnot. And we'll be sitting here for a while, but we're going to do that no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't they automatically, or there'd be some kind of fail-safe where, like, if this happened, there'd be help on the way, or at least other people would know? Because I
Even
mean,
if there's not a failsafe, right now it sounds like they have what they need in order to go get support from outside.
Mhm.
Obviously, would it not be the MEF's highest priority right now to immediately dispatch whatever ship they have currently docked up there back to Mani?
Is
You
this
wanna go
all
ask
worth
him?
that much?
Yeah.
I think this is coming up into two big questions before we run out of time that I toss over to Captain Books here, which is, do you just go ask him, or do you hold your cards? I don't know. That seems like the two. Am I right here? Like, it seems
I mean,
Yeah,
like...
you're right.
Yeah, it seems
Yeah,
no matter
yeah.
what we're doing, the laser has been like a huge obstacle, and being able to bypass that would open up pretty much everything for us. We'd be able to get a
It
Lucky
would.
Yo down here if we wanted to.
I'm saying the MEF, if they have control of it in the admin building, they could just be persuaded to deactivate it as necessary for whatever plan is needed in order to fix this elevator.
Yeah.
Right, right. Yeah, I think that may be a good idea, actually. Like, not so much sabotage, but trying to, like, talk to them. Maybe we could bargain with them.
All right. Well,
offer help.
I'm hearing that we're going to the admin building. Before we run out of time, is this... Are you gonna send your admin guy in? Is that yeah? And if so, yeah, Solomon, what do you say, or what do you do? Because I don't even think you have to. I don't think you have to roll.
I think I'm just going to ask to speak to the governor, or well, the marshal at this point, and say that I'm a very important person. And I know how to fix the space elevator.
Okay. Out of desperation, they bring you to Marshal Clark. And he's got guards around him. There's sandbags in here. There's weapons. This entire place is being like, it's like a, it's turned into kind of an outpost, a tactical outpost rather than a functioning city. Let's see here. It used to have majestic, crumbling white ruins around it, and a fountain and water and stuff. You may remember the bioluminescent shark, and all of those things have been destroyed. You have a makeshift kind of tactical command post style office here with people that are issuing dispatches, some of them via paper. They usher you, Solomon, up to Marshal Clark, and he says, I keep forgetting your last name. What is your last name again?
Dan's.
You basically reveal who you are. So say you're important and everything, and he says, well. Oh yeah, and that planet. I keep forgetting the planet.
Orem.
Orem. He says, if it isn't the Butcher of Orem. Come here down to my
General-
little planet.
General, Baron, and Admiral.
Admiral
Baron.
Baron
Baron
Dr.
To you.
Solomon Dans.
Never gets old.
This guy
Never
used to
gets
be a
old.
Federation Marine.
Ooh. Well,
I'm somewhat of an admirer of your work.
is
Not
that
both
so?
sides.
Uh,
Yeah, and in fact, since the tables have turned somewhat, Admiral, I thought maybe you'd like to work for me, actually. Would be good pay.
Well, what do you have in mind? Because we kind of just want to repair that space elevator and make contact back base side to help out Larstown.
He slams his fist down. No! No. No. Don't touch the elevator.
Why not?
Listen, we've got everything under control. I just need some help with a matter of state. It's not my area of expertise, Admiral. You'd be more suited for it. I hope it doesn't come to that, but no, I think these problems with the Dawn Seekers. Have you heard of them?
of them.
I may
Yes.
have heard of them.
It's this tribal group. It's been here before the colony was established, down south of here. It's all just a misunderstanding. We just want to clear up this misunderstanding and get things running right again. If we can do that, we'll be able to fix that elevator. Have you on your way.
Is it because they almost handed you your ass?
Oh my god.
Usually people don't talk to me like that in this office. Come out of here
Well,
alive.
you know, yeah, I take my chances.
Don't.
I take
don't
one
mind
step.
him.
I take one step away from you. I do not take
Solomon
your
is a step
chances.
forward
He,
and
uh,
raises his hand and said,
He
"Don't
nods
mind him,
toward
he's this Imperial scum."
he nods toward someone nearby him. And let's see. Gonna have to get through a squad of these people. Let's see. We've got. Is it? There is a roll here for shooting from the hip, and that's what they're gonna do with you. You can roll a
Okay.
d6 to see if you're surprised. You will also have to
Alright.
shoot from the hip to see if you can put them down.
All right.
Oh,
So
okay.
glad I took a step away.
Yeah, it's, everyone step
Oh.
away.
Alright.
This is all me.
Nobody's surprised.
No
And
one's surprised. Okay.
Does Niall have time to say anything, or is this is happening?
oh
It's
no,
not
he's not okay with this. Yeah, he just like looks over and says, "Take this guy out."
I think the traditional saying in this situation is McClunky.
Funky.
Trying to find. There's a quick draw. Typical actions.
Is it no? It would be a dex check. Would it be a dex roll?
No, it's a. There's a thing
That's how
where
it
you
is in some
can.
games.
There's a thing where you can do like a quick draw. I think what it is it's at a -4.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I'm pretty sure, and if I'm, here we go. I think it is using a handheld hold reduces dexterity for above advanced -4. No, that's 0 gravity. Gosh dang it! A character who is attacked from covered. No, I swear I'm not making this up. It's -4, and you can pull from a holster and shoot. And I don't think it's just. You can also do that, I think, in 2nd edition Mongoose, but I'm pretty sure this is a thing. If I'm totally wrong, we will just retcon this in case you're just
No, that's
dead right
fine.
now. But here we go. So there's a squad of guys. They all pull their weapons on you. -4 to get an 8, so they miss. That's a 7. That's a 1. That's a 2. That's a 1. And that is a 6. They are all at... Let me check the range. I think like normal. Let's see here. It's at short range, and they're using pistols. Short range at revolver +2. Okay, actually, he did manage to pull it off. Did I get any other 6s? Wait, no, because that's at -4. Never mind. So, I think... I don't... 37. I got an 11 here. So that one guy -4 is a 6, a 7, +2 is 9. So one person hit unless you have armor on.
I'm wearing armor.
Okay.
I'm wearing cloth
I
armor.
found the rule, Ross.
Oh, what is it?
Character attempting to use a holstered or slung weapon in a combat round is subject to a die modifier of -3 when drawing. When 2 or more people draw against each other, assuming surprise is not a factor, each rolls 2 dice and adds his or her dexterity. The character with the highest modified throw thus achieves surprise for the purpose of a first shot. This is on page 42 of book 1.
Okay.
If you want to see it. It's under
Well, what I will say is I think that these people missed anyways. However, you will get a chance to hit them as part of this round if you can do that. So you roll 2d6 and I'll give you your targets to roll against here.
Okay.
You got to beat all of these guys to hit one of them. So you roll. Yeah, you add your dexterity. You said, right?
Okay.
Alex.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So.
my dex is okay. Do you want me to roll?
Yep. And one more.
Now I have rank 1 in handguns, pistols, auto pistols.
I don't think that
That
I don't think that that works.
No.
The aggressor's able to fire. They all miss, and now they're going to just like tackle Radamant and try to throw him in prison.
That's fine.
Niall's gonna clear his throat and say, "Well, then I think it's good that you have us to thank for your preparedness."
Yeah. And they start dragging him away, but they're like, but he's like, "Speak plainly."
You knew they were coming.
We sent that message.
Oh, is that right? Got some mercenaries here, huh? Well, the offer stands. You want to work for Larstown? I'll give you a good job. I got a prisoner exchange program set up. Made contact with the Dawn Seekers. You help escort the prisoners. And, don't ask any questions. Handsome payday. 150,000 credits.
And the elevator gets fixed while we're working on that?
Nope. But if this war is lost, ain't no way that elevator will matter. Nor will it get fixed.
Man. Please tell me
This
you
is
have a
not-
roadmap for how that thing eventually gets fixed.
This does not mean that you can't attempt the elevator repair that you're talking about. And
Apparently I can't, because nobody here has a truck.
I think this would be a good place to pick up next time, so we'll end the adventure there.